Well, hello, oddballs. It's your host, Bobby.
And your co-host, Lexi.
And this is
Oddities on Elm Street.
Wow.
Hello.
Episode 44 today.
44.
Yes. We are back. So happy. We're probably going to be a day late. So.
Lo siento mucho.
Yeah, don't get mad at me. It's been rough.
It's been rough.
Yeah, scheduling. I think we got it figured out though.
Yeah.
From now on.
Well, and just life events. My mom's real sick, and then all of a sudden she fell and broke her femur, and then she had blood clots, and then she had COVID. It was just a whole ordeal.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Your poor mom. Ugh.
But,
is she feeling better? Still the same?
She's getting there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry about my absence and the, only Bob.
I know, it was very depressing. I found that I'm not as funny when I'm alone.
You need me.
Yeah, you are my personality. It was very lonely, for real. I was just sitting here in the dark.
When I was listening to your episode, I was like, I want to
chime in.
I know.
That's funny.
So, hello. We're back.
Yes.
It's almost been a year. Hokey smokers.
Oh my god, yes. What, 2 more weeks? 2 more weeks exactly. Whoa. Halloween.
Right now, this time of year, last year, you were probably just messaging me, being like, hey, we talked about
we should look
a podcast. We should. We will. We got to do it later.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's been a year.
I know. And we were just sitting outside, just chalking. just talking it up, chilling, talking.
Yeah.
You're like,
come up with a new word for that.
Chalking.
Yeah. No, that's really how this whole idea was born, though. Crazy to think about. Wow, we've come so far.
Thanks, guys.
We do have a new patron. They have not reached back out about what they want to be called, so we
welcome, new patron.
Yeah. We'll keep it anonymous for now.
You, but welcome.
What else do we have going on? I think that's it, pretty much. After this, I'm going to show you some designs I came up with for some future merch.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's in the works.
Stay tuned.
I think that's all we got.
Well,
I'm not doing morbid tidbits anymore. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah,
You know what? People were complaining.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were saying the intro is too long. I'm like, all right, cool.
All right, well, let's fucking get to
it. So I guess we gotta be speedy here. Well, we were gonna do a true crime type of topic, but then I looked at my inbox and I was like, holy shit. We have a lot of listener tales. And I know I just did a listener tales. Did I do a listener tales by myself?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't know. But I feel like we just did a listener tales episode.
Yeah.
So we're doing it again.
But I love them. I hope you guys like them.
I do too.
Because I have such a fun time.
That's exactly why I wanted to do it today. Because I'm like, Lexi's coming back. We need to do this. Because I always have a blast with listener tales.
Season. Mm-hmm.
So thank you to everyone who sent in your listener tales. That will be our entertainment for tonight. And there's some really good ones. I was very impressed. Actually, I was like, I have like a talk. What is that called?
Talk? It's like a chalking?
Yeah. No, I have like a feature on my phone where I can like highlight text and it'll speak it to me. So that's what I do with my listener tales when I'm like, doing dishes or whatever. There were a few times that I had to turn around and make sure nobody was behind me. I was getting sketched out. Yeah. Home by myself listening to these, I was actually getting spooked.
Well, you got me here for now.
Our first story comes from Sky.
Sky.
Such a pretty name. She says, "Hey guys, my name is Sky. I'm a new mom also. Well,
Congrats.
She's 17 months. So is Bowie.
Oh my God.
He'll be 17 months. Oh my God, he's 17 months today. That's crazy.
That's the 17th?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, crazy.
Dang.
She says, I'm interested in the paranormal, true crime, etc., and have loved this community for a while. I recently found out about y'all on the TikTok and Reddit and started listening to your podcast driving home from work.
On Reddit?
I don't know what that's about.
What?
I don't post on Reddit. Somebody's probably like stealing little clips and just pushing it out there.
Fuck. That's like the only type of social media
You gotta try to discover us.
I don't
Find
know.
us on there.
Maybe I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but somebody might be stealing our content. It happens.
I don't see it. So, Sky, let me know. Send us a link.
Send us a link. Yeah. All right. She said, I found out about y'all on TikTok and Reddit and started listening to your podcast driving home from work to decompress. And if I have some time while stocking lines at work. She says she's an ER nurse at a rural hospital. That I feel like Sky has seen some shit. Sky has to have some stories. An ER nurse at a rural hospital? I feel like he'd see some crazy shit, right?
I feel like it would be as just like a different type of shit, but as like inner city.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sounds spooky though, I don't know. I loved listening to your first 2 Listener Tales podcasts, and it made me recall my own that still makes me want to crawl under a rock thinking about it, so here it is. The house I grew up in was originally a barn before 1912. The house next door was the main house. Side note, I'm from a rural town just south of Buffalo, New York, and I was told our house was a part of the Underground Railroad. That's really cool. I love it. And she says, which is super cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would love to know, like, that kind of history.
Mm.
Like how people thought your house...
That was creepy, wasn't it? Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, though. I want to know more.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in 1912, it became a house. I'm not sure who the original owners were, but my mother grew up in the house in the 70s, and it was passed on to her in 99. Growing up, I can't really remember having any paranormal experiences, but I did used to wake my mom up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom when I was younger, because our only bathroom was on the first floor at the time, with all of our bedrooms on the second, and ain't no way I was going down there alone. Sorry, Mom. That's very relatable. I moved away for a while living in Hawaii and then Maryland for a couple of years. I'd come home and visit and stay in my old room every few months with no issues until January of 2019. One night I fell asleep in my old bed alone. Big fluffy dog, name's Ghost. Not because of Game of Thrones. Oh my god. That was my first question. Love Game of Thrones.
But why?
Because... Why what?
Ghost.
She doesn't say. But it's cute.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, her dog Ghost is cuddling next to her. I've had sleep paralysis before, but only once, and it was not nearly this bad. This night, I woke up in the middle of the night to something black floating above me. I can only describe it as like a Dementor from Harry Potter. Here we are again with the Harry Potter references.
I fucking get you. Bob doesn't, but that's why I'm here.
Hey, I get you on the Game of Thrones, though. Talk to the hand.
That's why we make a great team.
Yeah. I was paralyzed and I couldn't move. It began choking me, and when I finally woke up, I was gasping for air, tears running from my eyes, and I dashed into my parents' room.
Oh my god.
My mom flipped on the light when I came in hysterical, and I had red marks around my neck.
That doesn't sound like sleep paralysis.
Right?
Needless
to say, at 25, I slept in my parents' bed the rest of the night with no shame. My God. Then she says, that's not it. December of 2019, I moved back home and decided to live with my boyfriend, now fiance, who followed me from Maryland. Love him.
Oh.
At my parents' house to save some money for a home. Jokes, because COVID hit. Damn it. Anyway, almost exactly a year later, we were sleeping in the same bed in the same room. I work night shift, so it's not unusual for me to be awake scrolling on my phone while he's sleeping. Out of nowhere, he slammed his hand onto my chest and began screaming, "What is that? Skylar, what is that?" with his eyes wide open and staring at the ceiling. I hate that. I'm confused as fuck because I didn't see anything, but when he finally came out of it, he said that he saw a red figure above him that looked like a Dementor. We had never discussed my prior experience with the black figure. He wasn't hurt, but it was enough to freak us both out. Neither of us have had an experience like that since, but holy crap, if that wasn't enough for me to start questioning the house I'd lived in for 20 years at that point. Anyways, that's my paranormal story. Sorry it's so long. It's not.
It's not.
It was a great story. Again, I've become a huge fan of your pod, and I love your commentary. It definitely reminds me of me and my friends when we talk about these topics. You guys are the best.
Thanks, guy. That's fucking creepy as hell. Do you want to know what a Dementor looks like?
Yeah.
You should look it up on your computer.
No, I should. I need to know now because this is the second time someone has said that.
Yeah, and it's... You don't know until you know.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, can you imagine that just like hovering above you while you're sleeping?
Absolutely not.
What the... That is creepy. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy too that they never talked about that, and I hate when that happens.
I wonder if it would be like something... I feel like it would almost have to be something attached to something in that room, right? I don't know.
Yeah, something. I mean, to happen to two different people? Wow. That is...
Now you know.
Creepy. Don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Our next story comes from Betsy.
Hello, Betsy.
Don't we have a patron, Betsy? I'm gonna look.
I don't know. I'm only a subscriber.
I think there's an option for me to give you like
Well, fucking hand it over.
what's it called? What is that called?
I don't know. Co-ownership?
Yeah, something like that. Like an authorized poster guy.
Yeah.
I can't see all my members right now, but for some reason that sounds familiar. I think we might have a patron named Betsy. Anyways. Betsy! She says, "Hello, I discovered your podcast from a clip of it on TikTok and have eaten through almost your entire backlog of episodes for the last week as I've worked on art projects."
Nice.
Love that. "Thank you for the interesting morbid facts." See, Betsy appreciates them.
Love you, Betsy.
God. Thank you for the interesting morbid facts, cases, and fun banter, and 2 real discussions. I love your show so much, and I'm excited for more. Here is my tale for any future Listener Tales episodes. My family moved into a new home when I was 6 years old, and my parents still live there currently. It has been a normal home in the... I'm blind. I can't see this text. It's so small. I have to copy and paste it into a document.
What is that?
Please hold.
The 11.
What? Oh, yeah. I think it is. Let me see. It's 12. 12 point. Are you kidding me? I need at least 25. Yeah. Okay. All right. She says, "It has been a normal house and area for the most part, but growing up, I always had a big feeling of uneasiness in the basement." It's always the fucking basement. "There's a finished part and then double doors that lead into a concrete/unfinished part. When we were little, my brother and I would spend a lot of time in the basement since that is where the family computer was. We also did most of our sleepovers with friends in the basement. I always had this weird feeling being there alone and felt better with him there or with other people. I remember a few times during sleepovers when I would wake up in the middle of the night and hear scratching inside the unfinished part of the basement. I don't love that. I always kept those doors closed and would try to fall back asleep, but every time it happened, I checked on them to make sure they were closed. Like something might have opened them when we were asleep. Even when I got older, I always had this gut feeling that I was being watched or not alone in the basement, and eventually stopped hanging out down there. It wasn't until recently that my brother told me he used to have the same feelings, and that one night during one of his sleepovers, he saw a tall figure dart behind the stairs. He said he would hear noises sometimes when he was down there, but never thought much of it. Since he had his Xbox set up there, he would often hear the stairs creak like someone was coming down them, but no one would be there, always late at night when he was up playing games. Our parents thought we were making it up and said we were kids and basements are always weird. They never heard or saw anything until me and my brother moved out. And now they hear things more often, especially after one of us visits.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
Uh-huh.
One time when I went to spend the night with my mom and watch movies together, I woke up early and had trouble falling asleep, so I went downstairs to get some water. The basement door was closed, but I saw our dog on the couch in the living room and went to go pet him and sit down until I felt tired again. As I approached our dog, I heard a very loud voice whisper, "Hey," behind me, almost like it was in the kitchen. Thinking my mom heard me and was trying to scare me, I looked and no one was there. When I looked back to our dog, he was also staring into the kitchen like he had heard it too. I rushed back upstairs and closed my door immediately, and passing by my parents' room, I heard them both snoring and fast asleep behind their door. My brother visited them for dinner, and the next night my dad thought he heard someone walking down the stairs while he was in the basement, but he was home alone. I hate that. We used to have, the only working shower we had growing up was in the basement. I would never shower. Still to this day, I try not to do this. I would never shower alone because I would swear to God I would hear people walking up and down the stairs. The shower's right underneath the staircase.
Yeah,
I hate that.
You used to actually fucking shower there?
What the fuck else was I supposed to do?
I knew it was down there, but I didn't realize
that was our only bathroom for a while because we were renovating the one up here. The last time I was there, my dad told me that he heard someone pacing in the upstairs hallway. My mom told me she thought she saw someone at the end of the hallway near my bedroom door, but when she turned on the hallway lights, no one was there. And I was obviously not there since I've been in my own home for a year now and was not visiting them that morning. They had joked that one of us took the ghost with us when we moved out.
Nope. Psych.
And I have some small stories of my home since moving in, but no one is so sure that whatever we're hearing left at all, and seems to be getting bolder every now and then or after we're in the house for a bit. I'll send you my stories from my house too, but until then, thank you and always keep it spooky. Please send those stories. I want to hear about your house.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever heard of anything like that. Of like
it happening more and more often when a certain person is there?
Yeah, the kids moved out, but then the activity gets heavier when they come and visit. I feel like I haven't heard anything.
Well, I will say that when my sister moved back in, things got really bad here. And then when she moved out, things calmed down. So I feel like it's just maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just an energy thing, you know? They feed off your energy or something. I have no idea. But yeah, because growing up, my house was always very haunted. Mm-hmm. But then my sister, she's much older than me, right? So when she left, things calmed down. Then she moved back in when I was 15, and that's when things got the worst they'd ever been.
Because her and her husband,
yeah.
Right. Interesting.
I
guess I never put that together.
I wonder why that is, though.
And that's very interesting. If anyone has any theories.
Yeah. You should look into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's going on with me tonight? I'm like,
Because I'm back.
I'm just excited. Okay, but yes, please, Betsy, send in your other spooky stories because I want to hear those too.
Mm-hmm. Please.
Please. Okay, so let me copy and paste this one. I'm so old. You know what? When Miller and I went to... I'm only 27, by the way.
Just to clarify.
Just to clear it up, but...
96.
When Miller and I went to that event down in Westland, the haunted house thing, we got a hotel down there. You want to know what we did in the hotel? Miller picked the gray hairs off. Yeah. I was like sitting on the vanity in the bathroom with the light shining, and he was just like a little monkey going through and picking my gray hairs out. I'm like, wow, this is so romantic.
I've never felt closer.
Yeah, so intimate. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so next we have a story from Vanessa.
Hello.
Vanessa says, hi.
Hi.
My name is Vanessa, and I'm a very big fan, and I want to thank you guys for having this podcast. I love to listen to it on my way to work, and it really makes me look forward to my mornings. Oh, so sweet. She put a little smiley face.
Oh, smiled back at you.
Okay, the spooky story I have is a story that didn't happen to me, but happened in my mom's childhood home. My family is from Colombia, and the people there are very Catholic and are easy to believe in the occult and superstition. Like many spooky stories start, my grandparents' home was an old house that was over 200 years old. This house used to be many things, including a city hall in the 1800s and an old jail during the 1900s. That's pretty cool.
The house used to be?
Yeah. The house used to be a city
hall
hall.
And a jail?
That's pretty cool.
Oi.
If the house turns out to be haunted, we know why. Eventually, it was turned into a home that my grandpa bought. It underwent many renovations over the years. The house was a Spanish-style house with a courtyard in the middle that had a balcony with rooms overlooking the courtyard. That sounds beautiful. Oh, she attached a photo. Oh my god, that's gorgeous.
Holy shit.
Wow, that looks like it's out of a movie.
Yes. Can I get married there?
No kidding. It's actually so
That's
cool.
That's fucking gorgeous.
Wow. Okay, I can see that being like a city hall.
Yeah, it makes more sense now. I'm like fucking picturing.
I gotta put that on Patreon for everyone.
Yeah.
I'll make sure she's okay with it first.
Yeah.
Okay, in Colombia, most homes come with a small bedroom attached to the kitchen for maids to sleep while they worked for the family. My grandparents had hired a woman to help them cook and clean the home. This is where the first story started. This woman came to my grandma complaining that at night she started seeing a glowing orb wandering the hallways around the home. Eventually, the orb started to float into her bedroom and just hovered over her bed. She then started to hear scratching in the wall. My grandparents kept brushing this off, and they actually had trouble keeping maids longer than a few months. They would all quit and said they didn't feel safe. All of the maids over the years used to tell that exact same story, so we know they weren't faking it. That spooks me out. It's like, you know Hinterkaifeck? The German family that was like butchered? The maid had quit the day before the whole family was murdered because she thought the house was haunted because she was hearing something in the attic.
But it was an actual person?
It wasn't. It was the actual person that ended up murdering the whole family. So the woman quit. They hired a new maid, and on the new maid's first night, she was murdered by that person that was living in their attic. We got to talk about that. That story fucks me up.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. She says, this went on for a while until my aunt, who was a few years older than my mom, started hearing things. She was about 18, and she used to tell my grandma that she was hearing heavy footsteps walking around and going up and down the stairs. Then one day, she said that she was up late doing homework, and she heard the same footsteps coming down the hallway toward her.
Mm-mm.
She looked up and said she saw a shadow of a person on the floor, but no physical body attached to it. What? It freaked her out so bad that she ran out crying to my mom's bedroom, and she refused to sleep alone for weeks. She said she still has nightmares about that to this day. Over the years, my grandparents got more complaints from workers about tools getting moved around and hearing strange noises. They also used to have dogs, and the dogs would always bark at the bedroom that the maids would sleep in. Something spooky in there.
What the fuck?
I feel like places that like have a history of like being a jail or whatever, I feel like they have to be haunted. They have to.
Yeah.
It's just that like residual type of
Energy.
haunting, yeah. My grandparents never really believed anyone until they finally moved out of that house. They eventually sold it to someone who was going to demolish it and build retail shops on the land. While they were tearing the house down, construction workers ended up finding something in the wall that was in the maid's room. Ooh, I just got chills. They found an old leather bag with cat bones tied up with human hair and pieces of paper with Latin phrases written on them. Oh my God.
Oh.
This freaked out the workers so bad that they actually stopped working and had to call a priest to come and bless the land.
Holy shit.
That's so freaky. Ugh. Word got back to my grandparents, who finally believed that something strange was probably trapped in the house. So that's the story, and sometimes I really wish I could go back and see the home because of the history that must have happened there. Oh my God, and she ends it like this. Also, my grandpa was apparently at an exorcism for a woman in his town. My family's pretty religious, and they're definitely not the type of people to make these types of stories up. Yeah, I kind of want to know more about that. Just casually mention that your grandfather was at an exorcism.
Holy shit.
Wow, that's really creepy.
A leather bag full of cat bones tied up with human hair? Tied closed with human hair?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder what that would be.
With
like,
Latin phrases. I wonder
right,
what the phrases say. Like, translate that shit. That's super...
That is very, very fucking creepy.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, that gave me chills when I saw that. That was a good story. I like it. I like it a lot.
That is freaking... That place is beautiful. Holy
yeah,
shit. I cannot imagine.
I'm going to post that picture on Patreon for everyone to go see. Just like, you know, anyone. Like, you don't have to be a patron. You can just go.
But you can definitely join.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to... Yeah, it's up to you. But
just go and see. And maybe subscribe. But...
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Know.
Okay. This one's a little short one.
All right.
It's from Chloe. I love the name Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, just want to say I love your guys' podcast. I listen to it whenever I'm working on set for my school's theater project. That's cool.
Hello.
Anyway, I don't have anything really scary that has happened to me, but I do have something unexplained. Here's the story. I have a memory of a funeral that no one in my family says happened.
What? Bitch, that is scary.
Yeah. Wow. I can remember being 5 or 6, a little kid, and standing in a black funeral dress with a black headband with a flower on it in my hair. I distinctly remember hugging my mother's legs because I knew I was sad, but I didn't know what death was yet. I can remember that it was a funeral for someone named Rose. But here's the thing. I'm not related to anyone named Rose. I didn't go to any funerals until I was in 2nd grade. No one I am related to can say that that funeral happened. However, I can also distinctly remember playing tag in the church with a cousin on my mom's side of the family after the funeral and running up and down these stairs with cinder block walls covered in off yellow paint with colorful handprints around it. That's all I can think of for my stories, and we just can't explain it.
That is weird.
Okay, first of all, I want to know if your cousin remembers that. right? Because she's saying she remembers playing tag with her cousin. Yeah. Does he or she remember that? Because that would be really freaky. If they're like, yeah, I totally, yes. Yeah. But then also, I'm kind of like, is this like a past life type of memory coming to the surface? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because, yeah.
That is really weird. That's so strange. Can you imagine having a very vivid memory of something?
That's scary to me.
Yeah.
I know you said it wasn't scary, but that would freak me out.
No, it would freak me out too.
Like, where did this
idea come from, and how is it so
vivid?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I've never heard of something like that. That would really freak me out. I would start to think I'm a little cuckoo. I feel like, what is my brain trying to trick me?
OCD? No.
Wow, that's... Rose.
Well...
She should look into that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any way that she could, but...
You should go to your local cemeteries and look for all the roses.
Can you imagine? She finds one from, like...
You just walk right to it.
The 1800s.
Rose.
And you're like, oh my god, I was there. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I'm stupid. Let me copy and paste.
25.
Yes. The story is from Chase.
Hello, Chase.
I sent a story a little while ago, but I'm not sure if it sent or not. I don't believe it did, because I don't have any stories from a Chase. Anyway, I have another story. Let me set the scene. The scene is set out in an old white farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma in the summertime. The house was so old, the doorknobs were oval, and you had to use skeleton keys to be able to lock the doors, including the front door. That's cool. I love skeleton keys.
We have a skeleton key.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
You and Trevor?
Uh-huh.
That's so cool. Is that an old house?
Yeah.
Is it spooky? Is there a basement?
I'll have to tell you something.
I'm gonna come investigate.
he found this weird part in his laundry room. It was like a weird part of the ceiling that was added on that he found this box of shoes in.
What?
So he didn't get rid of the shoes. I'm like, smart man. Love that.
Okay, yeah, I need to know more about that when we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so this house did not have heat or air conditioning, so it relied on window air conditioning units. It had a very old rundown barn in the background, and it also had an outhouse that probably has not been used in a very, very long time. At the time, my ex-boyfriend's mom stayed at this house. I would come over about 3 times a week and stay the night because it was my senior year and I really didn't have much going on, so why not? This is not the first thing that happened to me in this house, and it certainly wasn't the last. Whatever this thing was, I absolutely loved when I was around because it wouldn't mess with anyone else. One of the creepiest things that did happen to me was laying on the couch with my ex when no one else was home. The house was pitch black dark, and I woke up to 2 little kids running around the house laughing. I could hear every step they took, the doors they opened and closed. They ran around the living room, laughing hysterically. My eyes were wide open, but I couldn't see anything because of how dark it was, and I could not move. I wonder if it's like sleep paralysis. My ex didn't hear any of it at all, and then I felt one of them climb onto the couch with me. No, thank you.
Absolutely not.
That scared me enough to where I jumped off the couch and I screamed, waking up my ex, running to go turn the lights on, and nothing was there. A few weeks later, we fell asleep on the couch again, but this time I got woken up to him having me in a chokehold because he was having a horrible dream. Oh my god. I would see shadows in his room and hear people talking that weren't in the house. What the fuck? His mom later moved out of the house and we started taking over the rent payments. I was pregnant, starting college, so it seemed like a good idea at the time, but now that I look back at it, I think the house, or whatever was in it, caused a pretty big tear in our relationship. his guns would go off out of nowhere. What? One of them went through my bed while I was folding baby clothes in the room next to it. Oh my God. That's terrifying. How does that even happen? Both of our dogs died at the same time right next to each other under a tree with no injuries. What is going on?
Oklahoma?
That is so freaky. My ex decided he was going to leave me 3 weeks after our daughter was born. Oh my God, that's horrible. I know that sounds like a pretty crazy story. It's pretty hard for me to believe all this went on in such a short time. Our relationship was so wonderful before that house. What are your thoughts on it? Side note, I've always been really sensitive to spirits. I grew up in a really religious family. I still see things to this day, but after he left me, I left that house and never went back. Me and her dad never got back together. My daughter is now 5. I had another daughter with a man that I'm getting married to next month in October.
Oh my gosh, it's October.
It's
Congratulations.
October. I wonder if she's married yet. And so far, out of the 4 years of being with him, I haven't had anything scary happen. Well, at least that doesn't involve him. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I'm excited to see if y'all read it. I appreciate you so much for starting this podcast. It's really helped me, especially with me being a stay-at-home mom. I feel like I have I am your friend.
We are your friends.
We're all friends here.
We're all friends here.
Oh my God, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Guns going...
How does a gun just go off randomly and like shoot through your bed? That's so scary. That is so scary. I cannot. And then your dog's dying at the same time for absolutely no reason? Something's...
Poltergeist.
That's... I'm like speechless. And that doesn't happen very often. Wow.
And how traumatic. Going to find your dogs. Just both dead under a tree. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I would be so devastated.
Oh my God. All of that. All of it. Wow.
Be careful where you move into.
Well, I'm glad that things seem to be going better now, and I hope they are. And if you are married, congratulations. Where's my invite? I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Wow, that was quite a story. Okay, this is a short one here. And it's from Brianna. She says, very random question and really not useful for your podcast, but I'll give you some background before I ask my question. On February 14th, Valentine's Day this year, my coworker / best friend / second mom's son was supposed to start at our job. I'm trying to calculate this.
You said it and I'm like, is she
my
following?
coworker / best friend / second mom's son. Okay, that makes sense to me.
The son of your
second mom, who also happens to be your
friend.
best friend and now your coworker.
Okay, I'm on track.
Okay, yeah. So he was supposed to start at our job. He never showed up. My friend was livid, and even though she never said it, she seemed on edge and off. I woke up the next morning to a phone call from her, and she told me her son had shot himself. Long story short, there was obviously heartfelt / sappy stuff when she returned to work. Close friends and family were there for her as much as we could be, as she was someone who kept to herself. Less than 3 months later, she was found deceased in her bed. Oh my God. My question in my sadness and desperation is it crazy to try to reach her through a Ouija board?
I don't think it's crazy, but I don't think it's a good idea. I can understand why someone would want to do that, but you don't have a clue who you're talking to.
Yeah. I think the best solution, because she goes on, she says, I'm sure I already know the answer, but what I would give to communicate with her at least one more time. I think you should find a trusted medium. Someone that, you know people have had good experience with, and kind of just let them be your messenger, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because they're kind of like, they're trained in that and they know what they're doing. Whereas like...
Yeah, but you know, it's hard too because you got like, they're just bad people.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but
well, that's why
trusted,
I say,
right?
Yeah, try to find someone that you like, look over their reviews and shit. You know what I mean? Yelp that shit.
Yelp that shit.
But for real though.
Well, you know, okay, I don't know. This just comes to my head, and I don't, you know, it's not really something that you can necessarily do except be like open to it. But I feel like I've heard quite a few times of people like having some sort of animal or like bird kind of thing approach them, and having like, you just get that sense of, it's not like you're actually talking, but you're like, okay, like,
yeah, it's like a sign.
Yeah, like, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming like to say goodbye almost.
Yeah, give that closure.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard before that like, if you feel like that's what you need, like all you have to do is ask for it. I don't know how true that is, obviously, but
I mean, it's kind of like manifesting, right?
Yeah. That's so sad. My God. 3 months later. I wonder how she passed. Was it just like...
I know.
Out of grief?
Which is a thing.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's so sad.
I'm so sorry.
I would definitely try to connect with like a medium, or even just like a... I don't know.
What does your gut say to do? And obviously your gut knows that you shouldn't go to a Ouija board.
Right, yeah. Obviously your intuition is telling you that that's probably not a good idea.
Because it's not, because you don't know.
Right.
Who you're talking to and who you're letting in. And all of that shit.
Yeah, look at all the stories we get of people using Ouija boards and it going very terribly wrong. So, yeah, I think that's a good answer, is like, what does your gut, what does your intuition say you should do? God, that's awful. I'm so sorry.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah. Let us, like, keep us updated. I would actually like to know what comes of that. Okay, so our next story is from Liv. Liv says, recently on vacation, something pretty crazy happened to me and my family. We were driving down the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, and we came across a man laying on the side of the road. After pulling over, my dad used my sister's sweatshirt to stop the bleeding from a huge cut on his head.
Oh.
Turns out he was changing the oil in his truck, and it had rolled over him because the roads we were on were extremely steep. The force of the truck caused him to shit himself.
Anyone that's not on YouTube, she just did this thing with her hand. Like, I should obviously know what.
Obviously.
I've never given birth, okay?
The force of the truck caused him to crap his pants, pretty much. And it had created a 6-inch sized cut in his skull. Wow. We had brought him into the back of our rental car and drove to the first house we saw. Thankfully, the family that lived there had a landline, and we were able to call 911. The guy's name is Lance. Lance's mom, or they called Lance's mom also. Sorry, I don't know where I was going with that. They got him pretty stable before taking him to the hospital, and since then, there has been no obituary posted online. Doing a little digging on him myself, turns out he is a registered sex offender. My mom found this out, and he had strangled and beat his girlfriend. Oh my God. What we learned from the husband that lived in the house with the landline is that he also had shot 2 people. This makes more sense because he had previously asked my mom to dispose of a gun that he kept in his truck and kept talking about how he thinks someone sabotaged him. What is happening?
Where are you?
What is going on? She says, I think his case is pretty interesting, but obviously if you find nothing else, then it's no worries. Me and my friend listen to your podcast every art class. Wait, okay. So you find a man on the side of the road with a huge gash in his head, and he's shit himself.
Mm-hmm.
You put him in the back of your car and drive to a house that has a landline. And the guy at the house is like, hey, just a quick side note. This dude fucking killed 2 people. He just shot him. And then you go online and you figure out he's also a registered sex offender and strangled and beat the shit out of his girlfriend.
Well,
is that not the craziest turn of events that has ever happened?
They found out that the guy of the house had shot 2 people. And what did they add?
Wait,
what did that guy
is that
ask?
what that was?
I think. I don't know.
Turns out, okay. What we learned from the husband that lived in the house with the landline is that Lance had also shot 2 people. So he strangled and beat his girlfriend and shot 2 people.
Holy shit.
And then she says, this makes more sense because he previously asked my mom to dispose of a gun that he had in his truck and was talking about how he thinks someone sabotaged him. I hope your mom didn't get rid of that gun for him. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Is that not like the crazy? Can you imagine like you're doing a good deed and then it turns out the guy's a fucking murderer? And you're like, actually, I changed my mind. So I'm gonna go drop you back off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You just lay in your own shit. There you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
That escalated quickly.
That was, yeah. Quick and...
I don't even know what to say.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
I'm glad that,
I'm glad you're alive.
You're good. Probably helped that he was...
Probably traumatized,
out,
but...
gash in his head and shit in his pants.
What? Oh my god.
Let's not stop on the side of the road to help people.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. We do have more, but I feel like we've done quite a bit already.
Yeah.
We might have to save the rest for maybe like a bonus
Another
episode.
One.
We should do a bonus episode, I think.
Aye.
Yeah. Cute. Yeah. Make up for lost time. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But yeah, that's all we've got from our listener. That was intense. There's some really crazy shit in there. Wow. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. This is how it always goes.
Yeah. I'm always stunned. Speechless.
Oy.
Well, thank you guys for sending those in. You have entertained me quite a bit.
You have captured my attention.
Piqued my interest. If you have a story that you want to share with us,
or if we shared a story of yours and you're like, I've got more, we would like to hear them.
Yeah, I want updates. Thank you again to everyone who sent in your super spooky stories. If you want to send in your spooky story,
where can they send it to?
listenertales@gmail.com.
listenertales@gmail.com.
Yes, that will be linked in the description in case you forget.
Send them. And then come check out Patreon and see the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I gotta get that up for sure. Other than that, we're all done here.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get the rest of the stories out as a little bonus episode for everyone.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. And remember to
always keep it spooky.